Andre, the doctor of self-worth, is joining us today from Budapest on his mission of changing minds, changing lives. I'm Jennifer Regular, the host of Awaken and Ascend, where I get to bring spiritual change makers and healers from around the world to share their wisdom with you so you can become a fuller expression of who you are and create greater meaning and fulfillment. Endre Hoffmann helps business owners and leaders who experience inner struggle, self-doubt, feeling exhausted, working hard, and plagued by negative thinking. Creating rapid psychological transformations is his passion by removing the internal conflicts and struggle from people's minds to achieve confidence and peace within. As a result, they enjoy emotional freedom and multiply their impact on business and life. While working with him, they gain a new self image and they have space to tap into their true genius and purpose. Wow, Andre, I love the work that you're doing, and it's such an honor to have you here joining me all the way from Budapest. And I'm sitting here in Victoria, Canada. So, welcome.
Thanks very much. I'd love to be on your show, and I hope we will help some people and make some change.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of different types of doctors out there and practitioners, and you've become known as the doctor of self-worth. And I'd love to hear what inspired that. How did you embody the doctor of self-worth? Where did that come from?
Well, the story is pain and struggle, not feeling good enough, not feeling loved, perhaps also feeling abandoned by my dad. So it was coming from adversity. I felt I'm very disconnected from him, and most of my childhood was spent in trying to win my dad's love. And from that point, I started to live this unworthiness, not feeling good enough at my core, and always trying to prove myself to anyone, anywhere, competing, building a type A personality, then impressing everyone. Yet this wound from early on in life was never, or for 30 years, it was not resolved. And I didn't know this. This was the worst part that I've been on running amok. I lived in 4 countries. I spent over $100,000 to try and resolve my own psychological challenges. I was not able to speak in front of people or asking out girls. It was a hard and bumpy journey, and I've never been able to resolve it with my dad. Like, he's already gone, and I had to resolve it on my side without him, as sometimes the people are not ready to reconcile or heal. And the brand was born 5 or 6 years ago in Australia, because that was the third country where we moved to, and my life was about to crash again. I almost lost my wife and my children because I had this working hard pattern. That's all I've seen from my childhood around me. People work 5, 6 days, sometimes 7, full of stress. I'm from Hungary, so it had a lot of people have this scarcity mindset. There's not enough. It's not gonna get any better. Probably I had those patterns running as well. And as I was working 12-hour days, and I started a side hustle that didn't really make money, these 14, 15-hour days, didn't have time for children or my wife. But I was telling them I will break out of this. And it didn't happen. They became skeptical, and they said that probably it's better if I'm just going and we separate. That week I fell asleep a few times at work. So I knew something had to give in or break. And I think this was the last straw when my wife said, well, let's just separate. It's not going to be so different from this point. And that lowest point in my life was when I made the decision that I will allocate all my time and money to break out of this limited self, to create more pain or repeat the same pain that I was going through. I became my father in many respects. And I was working against that for a long time, yet I recreated that type of hopeless, stressed, fearful personality. And from that point, when I made the decision and I said, if I die trying, I will die trying in 30, 40, 50 years, trying to resolve this. And I think that's all I needed. That became a 10 out of 10 commitment. And that's what I'm seeking in my clients too, to get commitment and decision. Then change is fairly easy. It's the road to really commit. That's the hardest part. So probably in about 6 months, I was able to find a coach, and I dedicated time and money. And in 6 months' time, I had transformed. So this uh, brand took off, and I started to help a lot of people more and more in different countries, in different time zones, from US to New Zealand and many countries in Europe. And now I help people, business owners, business leaders, to step into their power, to be able to get results, not in 10 years and 20 years, but to get those, I call it sometimes, get the puzzle together so they're able to have traction. It's just a very long intro, yeah?
Oh, I love it. I love it because it's exactly what we want to be hearing, what you're sharing, and how you unleashed your own potential and how you encourage others to really step into theirs. And I love seeing what that bridge was, what actually got you to the other side of just having to live up to other people's expectations or wanting their approval and their love, and to the place where you are into your own potential and you're helping others step into theirs. What was that bridge that took you over to the other side?
I hate to say, but I was about to lose everything that's important for me. So I do not recommend this to anyone. And I don't recommend you to waste, well, spend 30 years preparing to get committed to the change, because I had some clients and they recognized this and they said, well, probably I need external help. I wasn't that kind of guy. Like, I've learned from my family that a man can do anything, and certainly not mindset. Those blind spots were slowly killing me,
Mm.
killing all my results, killing my relationships, and killing my health. So the bridge was a total collapse in pretty much every area of life. I didn't talk about health, but the work what I was doing, the hours I was doing, shoulders was about to be replaced. I had no options left.
Mhm.
And and I think this is where I hope you learn from my story that, one, you wouldn't have to wait decades.
Mhm.
Two, uh, seek out help, because there are specialists these days and they become the authorities. They become the best to resolve one thing. I'm about self-worth, but here we got the soul illuminator with us, Jennifer. And and these people have put all their efforts and resources to give you breakthroughs. And I believe you can always call on them to get results. I think that I became the person, the coach, the mindset coach that I needed the most
Mhm.
20, 30 years ago. So this drives me and it gets me so excited.
It is. It's that breakdown through the breakthrough, and I've been there, Andre. I do know in my own way, in my own experiences, that breakdown to the breakthrough experiences more than once. Let's to be honest with myself and everyone here watching. And I feel like some of the wisdom gained from that is that when we're not in integrity with ourselves, then everything falls apart, because that's not we for so however long it might have taken, 30 years, 20 years, even more. It takes as long as it takes to realize that we're living in a way that wasn't true to who we truly were. It might have been living up to others' expectations. It might have been living because we were told to and thought we had no other choice. whatever it was that led us to be who we thought we needed to be, rather than be who we truly were, our spiritual sovereignty, our divine being, our uniqueness, in being in touch with that, then we're not in integrity of ourselves. And so everything does fall apart because that wasn't real to begin with. So it's not a failure. It's not like an incompetence, or it was just not you. It wasn't the true you. And so all of that falls away, and it's painful and it's hard and it's healing, and there's a lot of inner work and that happens to heal, which is really coming into wholeness, stepping into who we truly are, stepping into that spiritual sovereignty, and realizing, recognizing the gifts that we actually have and that we can share. And you're right, we do teach what we most need to learn, right? We can't do that unless we've actually truly been through it and connect with that experience and all of the different senses that are involved to create this total human experience, the sights and the sounds and the tastes of it, and all of it through our own senses, which can be triggers for a long time. If we've had traumatic experiences, to hear a certain thing and it be a trigger, and it can also be an activation. And so recognizing what those are for us and how we can transform them is that we move beyond their current form and let it rebirth us into a new form, to create space in us that where what is meant to be born in us can rise up. How we're meant to actually feel can rise up for the work and the passion that we have in this lifetime to perfect, to master, to learn and discover and to be curious about, to create space for that. And that can only come through other people. So these mentors, these coaches, these things that you might hear on the podcast or something someone posts on social media, these messages come from all over. A truck that goes by, that might have something that you just happen to catch the glimpse of, or even a license plate. There's messages all around us all the time. And if we can tune into the ones that support us, that empower us, and not so much, and filter out the ones that try to bring us down where we feel threatened or a need to protect ourselves or to create any kind of self-doubt, and rather become more attuned to what's going to be life supportive for us, and to learn to trust ourselves again in our own decisions so that we can step up and make a commitment to live a life that's where we can grow and flourish and nourish others in the process. And so you became the doctor of self-worth. So why the doctor?
Well, the brand name came from my clients. I became, let's say, very efficient in finding the core of the root of the problems or limitations, and I was able to remove them, almost pulling out a rotten teeth. Or sometimes I call it a mind virus that has shut the doors of opportunities from them. Because the opportunity's been all around for you as well. If you're watching and listening to us, but maybe you shut the door, so you are not able to see it. Either your beliefs are not aligned, or they are not real to me. But you have a limited mind, like all of us. You only pick up 1 or 2% of what's going on around us. Unfortunately, this human mind has got massive limitations. And if you only pick up 1 or 2%, why not pick up what's true to your soul, what's true to who you are? I just met 3 old friends the other day. It was yesterday. And I found that they're hanging on so tight to those old structures, hanging on to the safety of money, the paycheck. And they started to hate their lives. I can see. And there comes a point, and this is a big one for a lot of people. I believe you can do transformation slow and painful. My story. You could slowly, life starts to squeeze you, areas of life collapse. You will have more and more pain and problems. Unfortunately, some are health problems that are irreversible. life is a big coaching session. Life is going to teach you exactly what probably Jennifer or myself could do. Although let's say we are not really teaching, we just help you to remember who you really are, or what you came for, or what could be a new level, a new version of experiencing yourself, your life, your results, playful, and the most amazing that it's not about hard work.
Yeah.
It is discomfort. I'm sorry, there will be some discomfort because change equals discomfort for the mind. But what's coming your way is magic, is
Yes.
paradise on earth.
Yes.
All you need to do just take those next steps toward, I know, I talked about it this week, the fear of unknown. That's your friend. That's where new results are waiting for you. Everything else within your comfort zone you already have.
Yeah. Amazing, amazing. And all these thoughts and beliefs we have in our head, we don't always know where they've come from. So I like how you said about getting to the root and how they can actually be like a virus that seeps into and affects every area of their life, causing disease and disorder and dysfunction and dispiriting,
Hmm.
right?
I
And
mean, if I want to bring in, sorry, a couple of examples, the
yes,
big
please.
ones I believe probably that 80% of the population have is this: I'm not good enough. I'm not up to expectations.
Mhm.
Ooh, not sure what.
That's
So,
okay. You will continue. Yeah. Mhm.
so the big ones I believe that are holding people stuck is that I'm not good enough. I'm not loved. I'm not approved. I'm not able, or I'm not able to learn. These ones, I believe, are massive limitations to the mind. And what's happening in your mind, unfortunately, and I'm talking about subconscious mind, it happens in your life. Because if I can give you one reflection today that you can take away, everything else that you see in your life and you're not enjoying, well, in some way you have created it. So if you're able to take some level of responsibility, but if you get to see Jennifer and myself, I think you will take more and more responsibility for it, then you can actually change it. But it starts here.
Yeah.
You will see your beliefs playing out in real life. If you don't like the results, let's shortcut to change.
Hmm.
Don't try and scratch the projector screen. It's not going to change much. Or overwrite the projector screen. Have you tried that? And this old version of your life keeps coming back, attacks, right?
Hmm.
Let's go to the projection booth. Let's go to the mind and the soul, and let's connect you to your heart.
Yes.
The journey is probably from your mind, the safety map of, oh, I need to work somewhere, I need to earn this much money per week, per month. That's got to change to, well, what is true to me? How can I contribute to life, people, businesses, environment? And from there, you you are native. You already have skills that can be developed. So you really find your place. Maybe it becomes your personal brand. You become the authority in something that has never been done. If you don't take those first steps, you will perish. And
Mm.
that's what a lot of people do. Looking back to your life and ask yourself why I haven't tried something different. And that's why I'm on this trip. We made a decision 9 months ago that we were in a lockdown in Australia. It was very limited. We were not allowed to travel. And I said, well, if we get out of that, we will spend a year and a half traveling around Europe,
Mhm.
having the most amazing experiences and earning money while we are traveling around, having a ball, playing, and inspiring us to somewhere next, which I haven't even defined. I think that comes from, the level of safety I feel about what I'm doing. Because
Yes.
it has become a flow experience. I have these wonderful interviews. I can show up on these networking events where I connect with people I love. I choose them. We have these podcasts and we share the message, and it's not hard work.
It's not hard work, and it's actually love and passion in action, and choosing possibilities over problems, to opening yourself up instead of restricting yourself with these pressures we put on of need to, should, have to, releasing that and
It's
achieving that level of safety. So how do you think that comes about, Andre? How do people feel safe? Because I know that's a really big one.
it's a massive work to do, or it sounds massive, but what if we could redefine the safety map for you? For a lot of people, it's the old friends. It's who are approving who you are, or external validation, or the boss. And it was maybe mom or dad before, where you followed the suggestions. I met this business owner yesterday, and I think we met third or fourth time, and we realized at age 63, of a department in a fairly big company, he hasn't got clarity about what he wants in life. He realized for the last 55 years, age 4, he shut himself down. He was in a family where mom was saying, oh, let's ask someone who is good at this. Dad was saying, you should do this. And in that environment, unfortunately, the way he was able to cope, to not disconnect from the relationship or lose mom's or dad's love, he shut himself down. And ever since, he's been waiting for someone to tell him what to do. So we are opening him up now. And I'm so excited to see these transformations when someone is walking freely for the first time. Or not for the first time, but out of a prison of, oh, what is right? According to others, what should I do? Well, that should, as you said, Jennifer, is always coming from someone else.
Yeah.
It's
And
not
he's
yours.
walking in his own shoes now, not in someone else's shoes, but he's starting to walk in his own shoes.
And it's walking the first time again. And it's scary, regardless of age, to learn about himself again.
Yeah.
But this probably is one of the biggest breakthroughs in his life, that he's stepping out of the old shoes or of the old identity. And now he will have so many meaningful experiences because he's got a new map.
Yeah.
And the new map says, I matter. Me first. Because everyone else is winning when I am my best version. And I think all of us deserve that.
I
To
do
feel
too.
safe, going back to safety, to have a new map for what's being safe. So going back to the question, I turned around the map of safety in my head. I said to myself, to me, even success of feeling safe is to do those uncomfortable steps daily. To explore how far I can go. I even have a keyring. It's not here. I'm paragliding and has a keyring. Gym Gliders has this keyring they sent me. It says, go further.
Go further.
So it's about exploring how far you can go how much you can contribute, or how many people's life you can impact, or not certainly people, but maybe planet
Yeah.
or animals, or whatever resonates with you. But it has to come from you, and it has to be aligned to your heart and your soul.
Mm,
And probably that's what you're looking for.
yeah. And making it a fun challenge, being curious about it, being open to the possibilities and saying, I matter, even starting there, practicing that until it becomes comfortable. I matter. That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. And this moment also matters. Not all of the regrets or, situations of the past, those lived experiences. Find the wisdom and meaning in that, not the heartache and pain. And also recognize this moment is an entry point into your future. You get to choose how you want to live the rest of your life. And we're living so much longer these days that there's still a lot of life to live, and so you get to choose how you want to do that. Responsibility is also taking back your power, really tapping into your inner power, finding that strength. It is there. Like you say, Andre, it's in our hearts already. We have everything that we need. And you get to hone people on those skills and help them discover and remember what brings them joy, what helps them, makes them feel alive, and what direction they can take that supports their most nourishing and productive path, that illuminates their mind, and not just let it be this virus that permeates throughout our lives and our body. And so I know that you are offering each and every listener and watcher of this podcast, whenever you might be watching it, an opportunity to meet with you for a half an hour. And so can you share a little bit about what they can expect if they make that contact?
Absolutely. I will be very present. That is 100% to you. And I believe you won't get that experience most of the time in your life. And it will be very simple. We'll have a chat. We'll ask you what you want or what you would love to have and what's in the way of that. And then we'll find out if it's something I can help you with, because I have some very strange requests. People are trying to fix their wives and husbands. Well, I'm not that guy. But if you fit into the my ideal client, then we'll plan the next step, which would be creating that breakthrough in your head first, because as I said, it has to come from the inside. There's no let's fix this or that in my life, and then everything will be sweet. It's about changing you from the inside, and that naturally will start to reflect on the outside. And this is a very exciting exploration. And I don't know what we're going to do yet, but I need to know what are the obstacles, what are the roadblocks, because I will start with the biggest one right there. So every one of these sessions is giving life-changing breakthroughs is for free. So at least you have the experience of what is it like when you are found out. And then, yeah, you will make a decision whether you want to spend time with me or not. And I'm okay with both.
Yeah.
That's, I believe, a very exciting exploration into your mind.
As I get excited just hearing all of that for the potential and the impact that it can have on people's lives. And even just listening to you today, I've learned a lot as well and feel inspired. So this has been such a wonderful conversation. And if people aren't quite ready to meet with you face to face right away, I know you do this virtually to anyone, anywhere in the world. So it's open to everyone. What if they just want to kind of go through your website or social? How can they connect with you that way?
There's a website. It's called drselfworth.com. It'll be easy to get it right. And one way to find me is just put hashtag Doctor of Self-Worth, because if you put that in the search, that will help you to find my LinkedIn channel, Facebook channel. There is a free group as well in Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You'll find me in most big platforms because this is how I started to build my brand, because I thought if I'm going to impact 1 million lives, then I need to be there.
Yeah.
But it's not that I have an amazing strategy to run these platforms, but I believe the message is too important not to be shared. So I do that exactly. And then whoever it resonates with, they will reach out to me.
Endre Hoffmann, everyone. Changing minds, changing lives. The doctor of self-worth. Hashtag that, and you'll find him. I'm so grateful for you, Endre. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you that have been listening and watching on Awaken and Ascend. And before we head off, Doctor of Self-Worth, do you have any final words for us?
Yes, I have. I think if you are unsure about yourself and you know there's more to life, then don't give up. Look for those signs, look for things that resonate with you. Really listen to those inner voices or feelings. And if you want to accelerate the process, then please ask for help or be around people who have created the life that you're looking for. People who live passionately, who are doing what they love. And most of us are free. We can change around easily our calendar. And it's not about Mondays and Saturdays or weekends. We tend to work through some weekends because we are excited, but you will have choice in life. And I think that's the most important, when you are not forced into old structures that are restricting. Ask for help, see what works. If you started to work on some therapy, because there's a lot of them out there that would not get you results after spending sometimes thousands and thousands of dollars, then create an arrangement to get some of your money back and find something that works. But I established my own business, so there's really no financial risk in working with me. I'm just very selective and I get results. So keep showing up for you so you can live a new life, a new version of you. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And we'll see you again next time on Awaken and Ascend.
Thanks, you.